So today, here's what I want to talk about, guys. So if you were thinking of selling your house now or in the next 3 to 6 months, my honest opinion is this is possibly the worst time for you to list and sell your house. Now, the reason might surprise you. My name's Andrew Gavin. I'm a real estate agent here in San Diego and a licensed mortgage lender for all of California. So, as I say, this is a bad time to sell in my opinion. And here's why. On paper, it's probably a great time. We have low inventory. Home prices are still rising slowly, but they are rising month over month. Even with high rates, the buyers that are out, they're clearly placing offers, closing deals because home prices are going up. Buyers that are buying in a high rate scenario means they're highly motivated. So we have motivated buyers, we have low inventory, meaning less competition for you, and they're dealing with high rates. While things are happening, home prices are still going up. But my feeling is this still might be a horrible time to sell. Here's why. I believe that this NAR lawsuit and the changes that the MLSs are making to ensure that they don't get sued again in the future, the decoupling of the commissions, it's put the whole real estate industry against you, the seller. The buyer's agents want you to pay their commission, and they want full 3% is what they keep talking about. Even though all commissions are negotiable, they're hoping for 3%. Listing agents are going to tell you you absolutely should offer buyer agent commission or no one's going to come see your property. That's probably accurate. Now, if you had listed 6 months ago and you offered 1, 2, 3% to the buy side just to get your property listed in the MLS, which was a requirement, and that's part of why the lawsuit existed in the first place, whatever that amount you agreed to was a guaranteed payday for the buyer's agent that brought a buyer and the deal closed. So now that's different. So they're freaking out. Their whole business has been upended by this lawsuit. And you as a seller, you could pay a penalty if you try and sell now or in the next 6 months, because my feeling is the industry does not know how to navigate this scenario. Now, listing agents want you to offer commission because that's going to help them fulfill their duty to you. It's going to get more showings, potentially more offers, because buyers are going to come and see your property because they believe you're going to pay their agent's commission. Both buyer agents and listing agents, for some reason, agree that the seller should pay this fee. I don't understand why. I don't. That's just me. Now, as I said, I'm a licensed mortgage lender and a real estate agent. So I look at this from a very different perspective because my business is not affected because I'm only single licensed to sell real estate. I still have my mortgage business, even though my real estate business is going to change. However, because I'm dual licensed, I think I have a lot of solutions for both buyers and sellers in this new market. But my feeling is if you're planning to sell right now and you don't have to, home prices are not going to drop in 6 months to where you're not going to get the maximum dollar amount for your property. But this first 6 months of agents, both listing and buy side, navigating this change and how to deal with it, there's no reason for you to be the experimental listing. I think that waiting is the best bet because we don't know what's going to happen. The real estate industry has been talking about this for months, but these rules haven't really changed to affect the public yet. We're going to see how that all plays out, and I think it's going to be pretty dramatic. The industry somehow thinks that listing agents are going to sellers to keep paying a absorbent fee, 3+% maybe. I don't know. It's always negotiable. It's always has been. It always will be. But the conversations that I'm in and I'm seeing, both listing and buyer agents believe that sellers need to pay this money. No one's saying the buyer should come and pay it. They're actually teaming up together they're siding with the buyer saying, oh, they're already spending so much money on these houses, they can barely afford closing costs. Why is that your problem as a seller? If they can't afford to buy the house, they shouldn't be trying to place offers. But here's the one thing that I do want to say about the buyer agent commission. When you think of the buyer agent commission that you're going to be told you should pay and everybody coming to see your property and placing offers is going to ask for, think of it as an incentive. Any person or company selling a product that has the ability to offer an additional incentive to potential buyers when they are interested in their product have the potential of getting a wider range of buyers, getting more potential offers to buy those products, and more activity around the product itself. So an incentive like thousands of dollars to cover the buyer's agent commission, that's a smart way to market your property. However, you want to make sure that your listing agent is on your side and believes that you should keep it as a negotiation tool. Because there's no reason to pay a buyer's agent a big absorbent commission if you're not getting additional benefits from that financial payment. Here's the thing. Buyer's agents are not loading up buses of people and bringing them to your listing because you're offering a certain amount of commission based on what everything else is available. They're only bringing the one, maybe two clients that they have at the moment that might be interested in your house. They're coming with the buyers that are interested in your house. They're not bringing buyers that have no idea about your house and saying this is a great house and it happens to have a really nice commission. The other piece to this that's really weird for the industry is on the buy side, buyer's agents are having real conversations with their buyer client and having a conversation to get that buyer client to agree to an amount of commission that they will pay if you don't. At the same time, they're asking the buyer to sign a document saying you'll pay me thousands of dollars or 1, 2, 3, whatever percent of the purchase price as my commission. They're still saying, if you can't pay this, I have a solution. I won't show you any properties that the seller isn't paying enough commission to cover this. Which, that sounds unethical. It might be, we're still not sure. It sounds crazy to me. But you can't ask a person to work for free. So there needs to be something else done. The buyer needs to pay this, in my opinion. Now, should it be a lot? I don't know. That's the buyer and the agent have to determine that value. As a seller, what is the value that you get out of being told to pay this commission? Now, as I said, I think having an incentive to bring more buyers makes sense. And offering, keyword is offer, to pay buyer agent compensation when you list your house. That is a very smart marketing strategy. However, I'm seeing a lot of conversations with listing agents saying, get this negotiation of how much the seller is going to pay the buyer's agent. Get it done early. Here's why I think that they're teaching you that. They're saying it so you can get it out of the way and you don't have to worry about it. But the truth is, what's going to happen under these new rules is you're going to see that request for buyer agent commission to be paid at the same time you see the offer on your house. So you got an offer, your house is listed for 700 grand, you get an offer for 700 grand and a request to pay 2 or 3% to the buyer's agent commission. Now, that's pretty normal. You know, that would have happened like that 6 months ago, except the commission was already agreed to weeks ahead of time with your listing agent, but it was all paid the same. So in that scenario, it's kind of the same, except you're now looking at those two numbers at the same time. Here's what they're willing to pay for my house, but the buyer wants me to pay this money, 2 or 3%. Let's say it's 3. That's $21,000 for your 700K house. Now, you accept that because you believe it's the best offer, could be the only offer, I don't know. But potentially, those buyers are still going to do a home inspection. They're going to get that report back, and all of a sudden they're going to look at it, and there's going to be a bunch of items on it. And they're going to be, oh my God, I'm paying $700,000 for this house, and it has all these problems. I want a credit for repairs of all these problems. So they're going to send you a request for repairs in anywhere from, maybe 3, 7, 10,000. I don't know what it will be. But here's the thing. A week earlier, you just agreed to give that buyer, 3% of the sale price. And they said, I'm going to give it to my agent. Now they're coming back to you and asking for another 3, 5, 7 grand for themselves to take care of repairs. So when's the pain going to stop, I guess, is what I'm wondering in this scenario. Now, the other interesting thing about all these commissions that I think is interesting, and why I think it's a bad time for you to sell, because as I said, it seems like the agents are on the same side expecting the seller to pay all this. Because in this scenario, well, let's say it's $21,000 to the buyer's agent. Well, between 0 and 21,000, there's a lot of room to play around. That buyer's agent isn't saying, I'll do this for less. They're saying the seller should pay it. The listing agent that you hired, they want their own fee, and they're not budging on that. And they're promoting that you should pay this large fee. The buyer is still doing kind of the exact same thing. They're coming in qualifying for as much as they can, but now they're being told, hey, you also have to bring this extra money to the table if you want representation. And all they're doing is what they're being guided and told by their buyer agent is, hey, we'll go and see houses that the seller is offering to pay my commission. And I won't show you the ones that aren't because you don't have that extra cash to pay me. So we need this to happen. That to me is a horrible conversation to be had, especially when that agent is also saying, I'm a full service agent, but I'm not going to show you a bunch of houses that aren't offering commission. And I want you to sign this legally binding contract to pay me 2, 3, 4%, whatever it might be. And then they're going to take that and they're going to say, my buyer wants this house and they're willing to pay you 700 grand and they qualify for that because I've shown you a pre-approval, but they want you to pay me 2, 3, 4% for my service to help them. Now, they want you to come up with your agreed to amount early. And I'm saying it's a bad idea to do it at all. And if you are going to do it and you have to sell in the next 3 to 6 months, being one of the first people on the front line to deal with this new decoupled commission scenario, you could end up paying a lot more commissions than you have to. My feeling is you potentially will pay things. Like if there is repairs needed for your house and you're trying to get, full market value, but you've got a handful of things that need some attention. Maybe they're health and safety issues, which always need attention. Every buyer wants those things taken care of. The lender usually does too, because the lender wants the buyer to be able to move in immediately and start paying that mortgage. They don't want them renting somewhere else while they're dealing with some repairs. That's a whole different scenario. But health and safety issues are very important. So you want to pay those, but you've just given up thousands of dollars to the buyer, which the buyer said, I'm going to pay my agent. I feel like maybe that's the problem between the buyer and the agent. You've already given them thousands of dollars. Let them figure it out. Your listing agent is saying, hey, you should pay this. You should pay me. You should pay the buyer's agent. You should pay credits. How are they helping you? If your listing agent isn't coming to you saying, here's my solutions to this new lawsuit and these changes that are being made, and here's multiple ways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways that we can try and save you commission while getting you a lot of showings and offers on your property, you have to ask yourself, is this really the right agent for me? Because there is an opportunity for you to save money. And I think this first 3 to 6 months might be a very difficult time because buyer's agents are digging their heels in saying, I'm not showing properties that the seller isn't offering a commission. The listing agents that you're talking to are saying, hey, we got to get the seller to offer compensation or no one's going to come and show this property and I'm never going to get paid. No agent wants to be in that situation. And they're looking at you, the seller, to be the solution. So this first 3 to 6 months is going to be tricky. Now, as I said, I do real estate in a very small area in San Diego, and I mostly help past clients and family and friends. I do mortgages all across California, so I see a lot of different things, and I have a different perspective. I feel like you as a seller should pay for your own representation. I feel like the buyer should be able to pay for their own. I understand more than most, because I am a licensed mortgage lender, the challenges that come with that for the buyer. So the way that real estate was being handled, where you, the seller, was paying both sides of the commission out of the profit of your sale, made it very easy for a buyer to fund commissions. And there's two sides of this, where some agents say that the buyer pays all the commissions and the seller doesn't pay any. Some agents say the seller pays all of them. That's where I sit, because the truth is most buyers come with a loan that will only loan on the real property. There's no commissions talked about. There's nothing more than the price of the contract and the appraisal. And the loan is based on the lower of the two. Let's say you list at $700,000 and you're paying out 3% to both sides. You're going to collect $700,000 in deposit money from the buyer and the remaining loan amount. You're going to get $700,000, but you still have to pay $42,000 to the agents. So you gave the buyer your $700,000 property. They gave you $700,000. That's an even trade, but you still have to pay $42,000. So while there is two camps to this, that's how I look at this, and it really looks like the seller's been paying forever. It's so crazy right now, and it seems like the whole industry is focused on ensuring that buyers' agents continue to exist and continue to get paid the amounts that they've been getting paid. And I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if you're a seller, I don't think it's the best time to sell, because you're going to be one of the first dealing with these industry changes, and both sides of the aisle, the buyer's agents as well as the listing agents, are looking to you, the seller, to pay these commissions and to somehow normalize the industry that's in shambles right now, to make your transaction be as simple and similar to transactions that these agents were doing 6 months, a year ago, 5 years ago, when the seller paid all the commissions. So that's my feeling on this. It's probably different. As I said, it's because I sit in a different seat being dual licensed. My real estate income is going to be affected just like everyone else's, but my mortgage business is as strong as ever. If you're buying or selling, I do have some solutions and ideas to save both sides money for what you're trying to do. So if you have questions, concerns, please reach out. I'd love to talk with you.